Welcome to another edition of Stepping Up to the Plate. So glad you could join us. I'm your host, Michael Vega, and so much to discuss. We took a little bit of a hiatus last week, but so much has happened. The landscape has shifted underneath our feet here with regard to the Red Sox and their future. Now, with Rafael Devers having been dealt to the San Francisco Giant for a couple of pitchers, a couple of minor league prospects, and some people are, I guess, kvetching that that wasn't enough for a three-time All-Star and one of the better hitters in the major leagues, the American League certainly, and of course on the Red Sox, and all to kind of lay the groundwork, I guess, for the infusion of this young talent, specifically Christian Campbell, who started the season on the opening day roster, and Marcelo Mayer, who's the next to be called up, and then Roman Anthony, who just recently called up before an incredible series, a home series against the Yankees that the Red Sox swept. And as his parting shot, Rafael Devers homers in that game, wouldn't you know? And then, as he's getting ready to fly with the team to Seattle for the series, they take him off the plane and say, "You've been traded to San Francisco." Unbelievable, Al. What a shocker, turn of events. I turn to you to help me make sense of this.
I don't, first of all, it wasn't as much a shock to me. I mean, it's a shock because of who he is and, you know.
In the time it happened, yeah.
They didn't have to get anybody. I mean, they got 4 players. They didn't care if they got anybody. This was all about dumping $280 million, 10-year, or 9 years
254
left.
at that point, yeah.
254.
Yeah.
And if they got something in return, that's, to them, icing on the cake. They wanted to dump it. Now, looking at it, two ways, the good and the bad. One, the good is that the Red Sox got rid of the contract, and a guy who really wasn't a tremendous team player. He didn't want to DH. He didn't want to go over to first base after Casas went down.
Yeah.
He's a good hitter, and he's not replaceable. So that's the bad. The bad is that they are not as good a team today as they were a week ago. With him in the lineup, they're a better team. But, and then I'm a little surprised at the youth movement for a team that thinks that they could make the playoffs, because
I don't know about that.
First of all, Roman Anthony's had 2 hits in 20-something at bats,
including a homer.
Yeah, he hit a home run, but that's what he supposedly can do, is hit a home run. And he hit that double to left field, and short of that, he made an error. He didn't look like the number 1 player in the minors. He didn't look like that to me. The other kid, Marcelo Mayer, got a better looking swing.
Yes.
And I think can be as good a ball player. The Campbell was a mistake. That's a 8 years, 7, 8 years, whatever it was. He's not ready. He's hitting 220 or something right now. And then
there was talk of him maybe going and doing a stint in the minors.
Yeah, well, sending him back would be, for him, I think, the right thing to do. But they also signed him for a long term. And then Ceddanne Raphael is another one that they gave a lot of time to and money for somebody who hasn't really gone through a couple of years in the majors.
And then Brian Bello, too.
Bello, at least Bello, he can pitch, this kid. He might just need to come around. Now, I'll tell you, the other thing is, Ferris Bueller, Walker Bueller, I call him Ferris Bueller.
Not bad.
Because he's had 3 or 4 bad.
Taking a day off.
The other kid who everybody thought wasn't ready, Giolito, has pitched better.
It's coming around.
He's pitched better than Ferris Bueller.
He seems to have unlocked something with his fastball.
He's got a fastball. There's no question about it. He's a big kid. He's overpowering at times. Bueller's not. Bueller has to hit corners, and he doesn't have an overpowering fastball.
Yeah, he served up a grand slam to Cal Raleigh that doomed his start Tuesday night.
He's got 26 home runs.
Yeah, and that was a killer. They go up 5-0. Then Cal Raleigh comes back, tacks on 2 more.
I think they're going to trade Jared Duran, and I think what's going to happen. Well, the reason why is nobody is. Think about it. They let Devers go, who was a 3-time All-Star and the best hitter on the team. Is there anything that the Red Sox need? Yes. Is there anybody that other teams want? There's only one player that other teams want, other than Bregman, who could go next year anyway.
So you might lose him and Duran?
Well, you might. They're going to try to keep Bregman now. The problem's going to be Bregman has the option to say, see you later. Duran will get you the most.
Yeah.
So well, if they get a pitcher, and I think they've been sitting back saying,
Al,
Giolito's
this franchise, Al, has made so many blunders. Come on now. You think about the generational talent that has slipped through their grasp because they didn't want to pay them. And yet the guy they did pay, they wound up regretting making that move. So looking back at Mookie Betts, letting him go, looking back at Xander Bogaerts, dealing him.
Bogaerts isn't hitting. Let's be honest
but the
about
thing
it.
is that he was a guy that
shortstop.
He was a guy that you know what? I think he could have gotten Devers to reconsider.
No.
If he had been here,
No,
he would have been in his ear.
If Martinez and Ortiz couldn't do it, clearly Bogaerts couldn't do it.
And that's the cachet that Devers thought he had with the contract that he had, I think. That he probably should have been afforded more respect, that he should have been afforded the opportunity to learn more about what the Red Sox were doing. And yet, I think they kept him in the dark. And that was a failing of Craig Breslow.
I think they handled it wrong. I think he handled it wrong.
Yeah, all the way around,
There was this rift that wasn't going to heal. And
then when they brought in John Henry to come in and try to make an appeal to him, and he said, no.
That didn't work either.
Gone.
And then he goes out to San Francisco in the conference. I watched it, and he says that he'll play wherever they want him to play. I mean, that's a slap in the face for the Red Sox.
So now, Al, the Red Sox have to go out to San Francisco after the series against Seattle, wrapping up the series. And guess who's going to be standing on first base in Game 1?
I don't know if he will be. But
oh, yeah, that's going to be. He's going to be begging. He's going to be begging Bob Melvin, put me in at first.
He'll make errors over there. He made errors at third. He's not a good fielder. He's a hitter.
Yeah.
So wherever he plays in the field could help the Red Sox.
Well, put him at first. Put him at first, you know.
I think Cora would say, please put him at first.
Yeah.
Put him at third. He's not going to play third because their third baseman, when he comes back off the injured, is. But look, you talk about the Red Sox making stupid moves, and they have with Mookie Betts more so than with. They're not. It's not the same situation.
It's unbelievable.
Mookie Betts is a better ball player.
It seems to be something in the water in this town where franchises cannot keep their guys.
Look at the Bruins.
And in the case of Brad Marchand, I say, why can't we get guys like that?
Yeah, but
Marchand gets to hoist the cup again.
The Bruins did it with Bobby Orr, played 2 seasons actually, 10 games with the Blackhawks. Joe Thornton, #1 draft pick, Hall of Famer, gone. Tyler Seguin, #2 pick, gone. Okay, if you look at it, Marchand, gone.
Bill
Hall
Kessel,
of Famer,
Phil Kessel.
You know what? Kessel was a good ball player. But I mean, we're talking about
people who came up.
Ray Bork, Bobby Orr, and Brad Marchand.
Well, I think Ray Bork was at
Joe Thornton are all Hall of Famers.
Ray Bork was at the end with the window closing, and he had an opportunity to get on the team, a lot like Marchand, that was going to get him to the Cup.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, he could look at Sweeney and say thank you.
Yeah.
Because he found a home for him. The Bruins were not going anywhere.
How? I mean, he put him on a contending team.
Well, he put him on a potential Stanley Cup team.
The defending champions.
Yeah.
And you know what? He made that team better. And it's funny how he kind of ingratiated himself with the guys in the room.
You know why?
And the fans. And they love his grit, man.
Well, the Bruins loved him in the locker room. The fans loved him. All the other teams hated him. Now the Panthers like him. Why? Because he's a hard worker. The Bruins made a big mistake. I don't care what they get. The first round, the 28th or 29th.
Now they're talking about they're going to deal their pick, you know.
They're going to get rid of they'll probably trade the 7th pick. God only knows what
More
this
than
team is
likely.
gonna
I
do.
mean, but I was kind of, it was a bittersweet moment, Al, to watch Brad Marchand get his just rewards to hoist the cup.
Yeah,
And I think I could see the emotion in his face because while he was happy that he did it there, I bet you there was a part of him that wished he could have done it with the Bruins.
No, I don't. You know what?
Done it. And here's the one guy I think he wished he could have done it with, Patrice Bergeron.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've been together for years.
Yes.
Bergeron said it was hard to see him in that uniform. But, you know, Bennett and him hated each other. Bennett and him were the first two that hugged each other. You know what? He's an easy guy
Yeah.
to like when he's on your side.
Yes.
He's a 37-year-old guy that
I
played
love-
like a 32-year-old.
Al, I love the audio of that game where Marshy won it, double overtime, you know, and you hear, you know, Kachuk going off on the bench. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! You know, and Marchand, you know, just like, okay, yeah, you know, got
Well,
2 goals in this game, you know.
You know, he's got a chance to come back here, but I believe he'll take less money to go back to Florida.
Florida, yeah. Al.
Although-
if they can run it back,
Detroit wants him. Carolina wants him. I don't think the Bruins are as much.
do you think
want-
Marco Sturm has any influence
No.
whatsoever over
No,
Brad?
No. The only one who has an influence with him would be Bergeron. You know, Sweeney likes him, but.
Do you think Bergeron would ever entertain an invitation to come coach with Sturm?
No. He might, but I think he could talk to Brad. Brad still lives here right now.
Yeah.
But his mother was down there for the game last night. That was his mother in the stands and everything.
Oh yeah,
I
it was
just
lovely.
think
It was
that-
nice to see that. You
I
know?
think Sweeney handled it incorrectly. You want to talk about not getting anything back. The Bruins could have got something back for Brad Marchand. The Red Sox could care less of what they got to get rid of Devers. They got rid of Devers. The Bruins thought that Marchand wanted, and he did, he wanted a multi-year contract at 37. He wants over $8 million a year. I'm not sure I'd give it to him.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. You know, I'm just thinking about something here, and I'll throw it out. I mean, Patrice Bergeron could be a great coach in his own right.
Yeah,
He
you
brings a
know,
lot of street cred.
You know?
And you know who's looking for a coach right now? The PWHL Boston Fleet. And they're looking for a front office executive too.
Right.
Well, and I thought about it. I said, man, he would be a great coach on the women's level too.
You don't know.
And, you know, it's a great opportunity for him to maybe get his feet
You know,
wet.
great players don't make great coaches. Ted Williams is the greatest hitter, in my opinion. that
You don't
ever
think he was a
played.
great manager?
Wasn't well. I mean, he was an okay manager. The problem was he knew hitters. He didn't know pitching as well.
I would think
So-
that. I would think the
But,
opposite.
you know,
no?
and Bergeron might be the type of guy that was. And Bergeron wasn't a rah-rah guy. First of all, he was captain of the Bruins, but
was level.
he showed on the ice what should be done. He didn't
Well,
do it in the locker room.
Do you think Paul Maurice is like a rah-rah guy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
he's fiery. I
Oh,
like that.
I've seen him
But
in
he's
the locker
cerebral.
room.
He's cerebral.
He-
I think
well-
he knows how to engage his players to fire them up a little bit. For example, when they played the Bruins here, and they were down, and he
We'll
looked
be
at his
back.
team and says, "We'll be back here for Game 5."
Well, I mean, he's fiery. Trust me.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about Marco Sturm in terms of what he did in Ontario and what he did with the LA.
Well, I
So-
think his greatest calling card was that he was a
he took the
developer of young talent.
You know, the Bruins should be the team that he.
Well, he's going to have plenty of that, you
We'll
know,
see.
with the
Yeah,
Bruins.
right,
But
exactly.
well, Al, and in the NBA Finals, we're seeing an epic showdown between the Oklahoma City Thunder
Tomorrow.
and the Indiana Pacers. And Indiana right now is they're listing a little bit with their star player Tyrese Halliburton, their clutch go-to guy, ailing from a strained calf that has been debilitating for him. And now the Thunder are up 3-2 in the series. And they go back.
Indiana.
They go back, don't they? To
No, they're in Indiana tomorrow night.
correct. They go back to Indiana.
Now here's the deal, though. I mean, if the best team wins, it's going to be Oklahoma.
Right.
I will say this about Indiana. They proved that they're a better team than everybody thought they were.
Oh, I
You know,
knew they were good. I
well,
knew
they're
they were
good, but I
Yeah.
mean, nobody ever thought they were going to be playing in the
Yeah.
in the finals. Everybody thought it was going to be the Celtics, and maybe Oklahoma. Oklahoma's been there all year in everybody's mind.
Al, I've been dazzled by the play of Pascal Siakam, for the Pacers. I've been dazzled by the play of T.J. McConnell for the Pacers. I've been dazzled by Andrew Nembhard for the Pacers, and by Rick Carlisle's kind of even-handed kind of approach, his management of the game. But at the same time, I mean, there's no way you cannot be dazzled by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or
Oklahoma's a better team.
Oklahoma.
in my
I mean,
opinion.
Jalen Williams. Chet Holmgren is another guy that you gotta like.
I will say this: if they don't beat them tomorrow night, anybody can win a seventh game.
Well,
Especially
but
in the
they're gonna have the decided edge. And this is the thing, Al. These are two franchises that have, I mean, the most rabid fan bases I think in the league, and it's
Well,
shown by the way they turn out for their teams, and they
New
just
York and Boston both have rabid. fans.
Yeah, but there's something different about those two. Something different about Indiana. And I think Rick Carlisle kind of hit upon it. He goes, remember when they won the Eastern Conference Final against New York? He says, everywhere else, it's basketball, but here, this is Indiana. It's different here.
No, it is. But I mean, Boston's a pro town, and we've got everything.
Yeah.
We've got the Red Sox, the Patriots, the Bruins, and the Celtics. I mean, you go out west, it's football and basketball. There's very little love of
Ice
in certain
hockey.
towns. There's
Well, in Indianapolis, there's only two teams that people who grew up in Indiana were rooted for. It was either Cincinnati Reds or St. Louis Cardinals.
yeah. Well, most of them were.
Yeah.
I mean, Ohio's so close to a lot. I used to travel that
Yeah.
area, and you'd go, the radio, you could pick up the Cincinnati game,
Yes.
and then the Cleveland Indian game,
It's unbelievable.
and then the St. Louis game.
How could you, and then maybe even Kansas City on a clear night?
I've been to a lot of those stadiums.
Me
but,
too. Me too.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. But it's interesting. So Al, are you feeling like it's going to be the Pacers or the Thunder wind
No,
up
I predicted before that Oklahoma would win.
in seven?
I still think they're going to win. They could win it tomorrow night. I mean, because good teams have a way of winning no matter where they play. Good
Yeah.
teams, but if they lose that game, seventh games are different.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the seventh game of a Stanley Cup. One mistake, you go into overtime in a Stanley Cup seventh game. I mean, I wouldn't want to play that game.
No.
I mean, one mistake, puck goes over your stick.
The
you should
heartbreak
have had
is
it.
incalculable there.
And then the open net, the goalie's over here, you shoot it above the net. I mean,
And
you
it
feel
goes
like
in.
you want to kill yourself. So,
Kills you.
I don't know. I think Oklahoma will win it, and I think they could win it tomorrow night. If not, they'll.
Al, can we talk about two epic performances by people? I don't know if we addressed this yet, but let's talk first about the U.S. Open golf. And J.J. Spawn out of Los Angeles put on an epic performance coming down the stretch when so many people were falling by the wayside. Some of these leaders were just blowing up. Sam Burns, I think Hovland, guys who were in contention to below par, all of a sudden, at the end, they were like, getting swallowed up by Oakmont and the rough there. And
Well, the course brought everybody to
its knees. Oh,
But I will say this: give Sam Burns credit. Because
he led for 3 rounds.
well, not only that, they took that.
Oh,
When he called the guy over and said, "There's water here," and
yes,
it wasn't
that
safe.
unraveled him right there.
Twice they looked at it, and twice they said he could do it, and then he pushed the shot.
No, they said, no, you can't get
No,
relief.
right.
They said there was
no
standing
relief.
water.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
he hits the ball, and it ends up going to the left.
Left.
Yeah, I think he should have got relief there because there was clearly
No doubt.
enough water. But, Victor Hovland, you hit it in the rough, and that's what makes the U.S. Open one of the best
Oh,
for average
Al.
players to watch.
torture test watching
See,
this.
we could never play.
Never. Hell, some of this
Postmodern.
stuff was like so embedded. I would have needed a lawnmower to get out.
Well, they couldn't get out.
A weed whacker. You need to keep a weed whacker in your
If you think about it, the top pros in the world, and only one of them finished under par
the winner.
or even, whatever I think.
But look what it took for him to finish under par.
Yeah, you know what? He didn't have to sink that putt. That was he could have.
That was dramatic. Yes, a
won.
dramatic. But Al, that guy sank like 165 feet of putts in like 3 or 4 of his last 5, I think.
He's played well recently,
Yeah.
you know, and
Well, he was in contention at the Players too.
that's where he made. I think he felt, I'm there.
Yes.
I can play with these
Confidence.
guys because
This
you're
guy's-
playing against McIlroy at that point, and
Yeah.
then to get into the U.S. Open, he was ahead the whole 3
Unbelievable.
week.
He gets exempted now for the next 5 U.S.
Yeah,
Opens. He gets exempted for the Masters.
I like watching the U.S. Open because when I like to see guys do what I do.
What's that?
Not get out of the rough. Hit one over here. I mean, hit one. I mean, a lot of these guys
Wow.
were from
some
here.
of those greens were diabolical.
It wasn't even the
Unbelievable.
green so much; it was the rough around it. I mean, approach shots were here. All they had to do was go 3 feet to get
Yeah.
on the green, and it would go from here to there because they couldn't get it out.
The kid, yeah. Even on the greenside bunkers, they were like those things were like
And you know, the fairways were narrow,
very
and that pews
slope. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, the church pew
eh,
bunker.
You know,
Yeah.
I
A little
don't think
gimmicky for you.
they don't even care. They go in the trap. They love going in the traps.
But Al, let's look at J.J. Spawn's putt to win it. All right, you're right. He didn't need to make that putt. He had 2 putts
He
to
just
win
needed to
it.
get it
He just needed to
close.
make par. He needed to make par. But he hits an epic shot into that hole. All right, and now he's kind of like hole high to the left,
Oh, he was.
and he
was-
had to navigate.
he was
I think a
60 feet
sweeping
away.
bender. I think left to right with undulations where he had to get it up on top of not only one shelf but 2 shelves.
Yeah.
And to get it to the hole out from 64.5 feet out. Unbelievable.
All he had to do was get it 2 feet, 3 feet from the cup.
And he
He
drains it.
wasn't trying to do anything. God forbid he hit it too hard and it went past.
But Al, that's going to be his U.S. Open forevermore. Bronzed, J.J. Spawn, winner of the 2025 U.S. Open. That's going to be his moment right there.
Oh,
And another I thought was when he hit the pin on one of the holes on his back on his inward bound 9.
yeah.
It hits the pin, rolls off the green, Al, back onto the fairway. And you looked at his reaction. He was like stone-faced. Stone-faced, Al. He did not blow a gasket.
Yeah, but
I
you know
mean,
what?
like who blew a gasket at the end there? You look at the guys, Rory McIlroy, remember he was like throwing clubs, I think.
What's his name? The kid, the heavy kid with the.
Tristan Lloyd.
No. God, I can't think of his name. He's a character.
Who, Robert McIntyre?
No, McIntyre's actually played a great.
He played great. Wow, he was in
The
contention.
other kid that was in there right to the end, and then he put one.
Shane
in-
Lowry?
No. Anyways,
Oh,
heavy kind of.
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Anyways, he's a character because he's got a temper, and you can tell exactly how he's feeling on every shot.
Yeah.
But you know what? Spawn was up 4 at one point and lost every. Actually, guys lost it more, and he did what Scheffler normally does. He stays steady as
Steady.
all you have to do is par the holes on the U.S. Open. Par them, don't double.
Well,
And if you do that, and that's what Spawn was doing.
and the problem for Scheffler was that his putter kind of
Yeah, well,
took him out of contention.
again, some of the shots though that were in the rough that he normally throws up there, and he can 8 feet. He was 12 feet.
Yeah,
So the rough at the U.S. Open
was the star. I
is
think.
always like that, and I like that.
The other epic athletic performance, Al, that I wanted to address, we never got to it last week, was Carlos Alcaraz at the French Open in an epic match.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, Al, how that
Well,
came
you
down.
watch those two, and and I watch a lot of tennis. Alcaraz can do things that you can't believe.
Right.
Sinner
Unbelievable.
is Scotty Scheffler on the courts.
Yeah.
He gets everything back. He's very steady. He's not emotional. He doesn't have thunderous. He's a pretty good server, but not like Alcaraz does things you can't believe.
He plays with such fire, such
And
emotion.
to be-
Al, he was 3 championship points down.
Yeah, well, he was down the
And he
first.
broke
lost the
back.
first 2
He
games.
broke back from being 3 championship points down. And when he did that, I said, okay, he's got a toehold. He's got some traction now.
He's a good player. He's a great player.
Unbelievable, Al. You know, and everyone started getting behind him. And he was playing with passion, you know.
He's more. Everybody loves this kid. He reminds me of his contemporary Nadal.
Rafael Nadal, yeah.
Because they just like that type of Sinner.
Yeah.
Of course, when he's in Italy, they love him, but he's not hard to like. He's neutral.
Clinical.
He's a neutral. He's not
clinical
he's like Scotty Scheffler as opposed to Arnold Palmer.
Clinician. And Alcaraz is pure
He's
emotion and adrenaline and energy and, fire.
His only problem is he wants to win every shot.
What's wrong with that?
Well, that can hurt you because sometimes when he gets really psyched, you can see it. He misses balls that would be on the sideline or where he should play more to the middle.
Yeah.
But I like listening to what's his name.
McEnroe?
Yeah, I like John McEnroe.
Yeah, I do too.
Because he's honest.
He is.
You know.
He is, and a great commentator. He is. So it's going to make me interested to see how he fares now at Wimbledon with that coming up. He's
Different
won
surfaces though mean a whole lot.
Yeah.
I mean, when you play on clay, and then you move to hard court,
in the grass.
big difference
Grass
in
is
grass.
good, yeah.
All of those three.
Grass is a
different.
lot more forgiving, I think. Obviously.
Well, it can be just the opposite, depending on how it hits the grass. It can go a certain way. It can skid.
Yeah.
Where the other one, you need to be able to slide on the clay.
Yeah.
You watch these guys that cut those shots on a hard court.
Especially when they're rushing the net.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So
Unbelievable.
anyways.
Well, Al, I want to thank you for coming in. And programming note, we're going to be on hiatus next week. I'm going to be taking some time off, going down to Texas to be inducted in the Rio Grande Valley Sports Hall of Fame with the other members of my 1980 St. Joseph Academy state championship football team. And so it's going to be a great honor, Al, and looking forward to that. And so we'll be back hopefully in a couple of weeks, from our hiatus. And we look forward to being with you again. And hopefully the Red Sox won't be out of it. All right, everybody. That'll do it for us. We're stepping up to the plate. Take care, and we'll look for you next time.
Three, two, one.
Here we go!